Hey guys, do you struggle with keeping your home clean? I used to struggle a lot too, and sometimes I still do. Let's face it, it's really hard, especially if you have kids or a husband. I'm gonna show you everything I do. Nothing takes more than a few minutes, and I don't have to spend my whole day cleaning. Some of the things I do every week or maybe a couple times a week, and then the rest of it I do each day, and my house never gets too messy. So let's get started. So if you're new here, my name's Taryn. I have 3 kids and a husband. I started my YouTube channel to provide helpful tips on all things home related. I'm always on the lookout for new tips and hacks to share with you. This video today is a bit longer than I usually do, but I thought I could show you what I do. And honestly, if you're using this video for cleaning motivation, you can just put this video on your phone, watch it while you go through your daily tasks. So my husband and I both work from home most days, but he's actually out of town for this whole week. So this is a weekday. I'm handling drop off and pickup for the kids this week. Usually he does drop off in the mornings, and then I get started working from home early. So in between my meetings in the morning, I usually stick a load of laundry into the washer. Now, I only do the laundry twice a week unless I'm washing bedding or other items. Today happens to be a laundry day. So I'm doing my clothes, the kids' clothes. We've got a hamper in the hall, and then the kids each have one in their rooms. I have 2 boys that share a room, and then my daughter has her own room. So I'm putting everything in the laundry. Don't get mad at me, but I don't separate my clothes at all. I just wash everything together. Towels, colors. I usually wash it in cold, but sometimes I add bleach like I'm doing today, especially if there's anything that needs it. I've got the towels in there, so I'm going to do the bleach. I bleach my bedding from time to time. I've never had the bleach stain my clothing, even though I use it on colors. When I do use bleach, I do it on a warm load. The only thing that I separate in my laundry sometimes is if I want to do like a load of microfiber towels and dish towels alone. But otherwise, I just cannot be bothered to separate my laundry, and I haven't noticed any issues. Also, one of the first things I do when the kids have left for school is I make my bed. I think that this is something important to do every day. Honestly, it only takes like a minute, and I would say if it takes you longer, I would recommend getting rid of whatever is making it take longer. So if you've got like pillows and decorative items, I think just get rid of those. I know my bed doesn't look the most exciting, but at least it's really easy to make, so I do it every day. And it's true what they say, making your bed, I think, gets your whole day set up for tidiness. I also tidy up my room and kind of just make it a little bit nice so that when I walk upstairs, I don't see like a big mess. I also have this linen spray that I bought recently, and I just sometimes spray it. It's lavender. I love that scent. While I'm doing my room, I then go into my boys' room and I just make their bed. I just do it really quickly, and I open up their shades. They are 6 and 10, and they will be making their beds when they get a little bit older. My daughter's 14, and she makes her bed every day. I kind of, when the kids get older, definitely want to make sure that they do it. But until then, I'm just doing it for them, just so that their room looks a little bit nicer. And I do ask them to make their bed, by the way, but they just kind of like pull their bedding up a little, and it doesn't really look made. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I had to now go in and check my daughter's room to see if her bed was made. I saw she put her bear on her bed. It's so cute. Okay, and then the other thing I do is I just turn my little robot vacuum on, and I do this every day. Maybe it's a lot, maybe that sounds like a lot, but it actually gets full every day. It's just, I don't know what it is, but I love it. It has like a low profile, so it can go under all of our furniture, which I would ordinarily not get to. And if you don't have one, I'll link mine, but they have a ton of them. They've become a lot more affordable. I definitely recommend them. My husband complains about it. He thinks it's too loud when we're working, but then I'm like, just tell him, well, you're welcome to vacuum. And that usually does the trick. So another thing that I do every day when the mail comes, I just grab it and I immediately recycle it. I used to let it sit in a pile, but now I just go through everything. I deal with it right away to reduce the paper clutter. If I don't feel like going through the mail, I don't even bring it into the house until I do feel like going through it. I also have a lot of plants and I water them every couple of weeks. I find that the plants just make the house feel a lot fresher and look a lot brighter. Plus, we live in a row house, so we don't have windows on the sides of our house. So this just helps to feel a little bit more like we're outdoors. I'm pretty obsessed with plants. Anytime I go to the hardware store, I have to restrain myself from getting a new one. I've actually started buying like smaller plants, you can see, and I've put them in with my larger plants and like mixing two different plants in the same pot. I think that looks really cool. I also have been really into doing like cuttings and propagating new plants. I have this pothos here and I've just been making a bunch of new ones. It grows really quickly and it gets roots like super simply. So I literally just cut it, I put it in the water for about 6 weeks, and then I replant it, and I've got lots of these little plants around. And apparently these plants are really good for freshening up your air and kind of deodorizing, so I love that. So after we get home from school, I just tidy up the living room a little bit. The kids come home and they just kind of toss everything around. So it just gets into a little bit of a mess. And then I'll tidy it now and I'll just have the kids do it again before bed if it gets messed up again.
I know you don't mean to, but you're blocking my view. I know you got issues, but I got my shit too. I don't wanna be your therapy no more, no more. You don't wanna hear this.
Okay, so then I also take a second to throw the laundry into the dryer and just kind of get that going. I also wanted to mention I have these hedgehog dryer balls that I'll show in just a second. I'll link them if you're interested, but it seems that it like aerates the clothing. It makes it dry faster. It supposedly helps with static. These are them. I don't know. I really like them. They also have wool ones. I know some people are allergic to wool. So I don't know. I like them a lot. You can try them out. I wanted to also say that I've got this front-loading washing machine, and one of the things that I think is really important if you've got the same kind of washing machine is to dry the rubber gasket after you've used it. So when I had our washing machine installed, the guy who installed it told me that he's seen a lot of these machines with mold and they get really gross and then they won't get your clothing clean. He even said that sometimes the mold like invalidates the warranty. So I just go ahead and I dry it every time so that it's like bone dry, and then I leave it open for a while. I actually leave, he recommended as well to leave the door open when it's not in use. So I do that most of the time. If people are coming over, I do close it, but generally it's fine for us to leave it open. Okay, here's my fridge. This is just a little example of the fingerprints that get on my fridge. I think this is all thanks to my 6-year-old, but he's constantly touching the fridge. So one of the things I do every day is I just like clean one thing every day. Obviously I do other things, but I make it a point to just clean like one random thing. And so, maybe it's a whole room, but today it's going to just be the appliances in the kitchen. And by appliances, I mean the fridge and the dishwasher. I just think, if you can clean one thing every day, then you can just stay on top of whatever. And maybe it's one room that you clean a day if you've got time. Maybe I do that on the weekends, but today I don't. So I'm just going to do these 2 appliances. My fridge perpetually has fingerprints on it. One day when I need a new fridge, I am 100% getting the fingerprintless stainless steel. My mom actually has the same fridge as I do, but she has the fingerprintless one, and we go to visit her, and of course my kids touch her fridge too, and you can't tell. It just makes such a big difference. So I'm just going to clean this up, and then I'm also going to do my dishwasher. I noticed that my dishwasher wasn't smelling the freshest, so tonight I'm actually also going to toss some dishwasher cleaner in when I run the dishwasher. Okay, now I'm going to take the clothing out of the laundry and I'm going to just fold a little bit of it. I'm not going to fold it all because I'm just going to get the kids to do that after dinner, and then I'm going to have them put it away. I feel like it's important to put the laundry away when it's done. Personally, if I don't fold it and put it away the same day I've washed it, then I just let it sit for days, and it just becomes part of the decor in my home. So I don't know, it just becomes this thing, the laundry basket just sits there, and then it becomes this thing that feels bigger than it actually is. So I make sure just to get it done right after I've washed it. And it's not a big deal because like I said, I only do 2 loads a week generally. So 2 days a week I'm folding it, or I'm having the kids fold it. But either way, I just make sure that it gets folded right away. Another thing that I do every day is I make the coffee the night before, and then I set it on a timer, and so then it's ready when I wake up. I actually have it, so I wake up at 7 in the morning, and I generally start to hear the coffee brewing, and it just kind of lures me out of bed. I don't know. I love coffee, and I just love having it first thing in the morning. So I get really excited about that. I also try to the kids sleep a little bit later now. And so I essentially just wake up a little bit before them. And I like to have just a nice quiet cup of coffee before everybody in the house wakes up. And I just read the news while I do that. I also wanted to point out that I use these brown filters. I no longer buy the white coffee filters. I found out that they use bleach to make them white, and I just don't think it's necessary to do that. I don't think it's necessary to have a white filter and kind of be exposed to those chemicals. So I don't buy those anymore. Obviously, do what you prefer. I just didn't realize the white ones were bleached. I also have a filter in here, even though I've got the basket filter. I saw this study that making coffee without a paper filter actually raises your blood cholesterol levels and could be bad for your heart. You can read about this. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but we don't do that anymore. We use the paper filter, and I just think that better to be safe than sorry. And either way, the coffee tastes delicious. So I'm making dinner for the kids, and my kids are really picky. I've tried a lot of things. Today, I'm trying this buffalo chicken dish. You can eat it as a wrap. You can eat it, on bread. I'm actually from upstate New York originally, from Rochester. I don't know if there's any Buffalo people out there, but I'm making a buffalo sauce to go with this, like a buffalo chicken wing kind of sauce. But anyway, I wanted to show this because one of the things that I think is really important as you're doing your daily cleaning is to clean as you go. So whenever I cook, I end up pretty much having a clean kitchen by the time I'm finished, because what I do is when I'm waiting in between steps of cooking, I will do something, whether that's like wash a dish or put something away that I've used. I never used to do this, but it has made a huge impact in keeping my house clean. I used to just cook, and as I was using things, I would just stick it right back on the counter and it would just pile up. And then by the end of making my meal, it was just like this crazy mess. I know there's like a rule to always be cleaning, but I don't think it's that. I think it's more so that you just do something when you see it and it only takes a few seconds. And then this way, nothing ever really piles up or gets crazy and ends up taking you hours because you've been putting it off or haven't been doing small things throughout the day. Essentially, you just kind of get it done throughout the day in small chunks and it never gets to be too much.
One step forward and another back. I would never try to fool ya. I'm one heartbeat away from going mad. Girl, when you're looking like that, closer, closer, I'ma get closer to you. Yeah, got me, baby, got me hooked on you once again. Girl, I need you. How many times do I wanna yell? 'Cause we could be so complete. Baby, I'll never want anyone new. I was on the bed and you undressed. Baby, when I pulled you in and felt your breath, then I knew the girl I need you. Smiling like that, I could never resist it. Smiling like that, I could never resist it. Smiling like that, I could never resist it. Every moment is another chance. Loving you is all I wanted. I'm wide open for a love affair. Girl, when you're looking like that, closer, closer, I'ma get closer to you. Yeah, got me, baby, got me hooked on you once again. Damn. Girl, I need you. How many times do I wanna yell? 'Cause we could be so complete. Baby, I'll never want anyone new. I was on the bed and you undressed. Baby, when I pulled you in and felt your breath, then I knew the girl I need.
Okay, so some of the kids liked the dinner. I would say that was met with mixed reviews, but now I'm just going to quickly kind of clean off the kitchen table. I highly recommend the color kitchen table I used to have a black kitchen table and it showed every tiny little speck of crumb. It was quite a nightmare, but this one is great because the color that it is in these placemats that I have, it doesn't really show the dirt or show the crumbs. So it just makes it a lot easier. You can see I've still got my robot vacuum running. It actually went under the couch and got stuck, so it was off for several hours, and I just turned it back on because it needs to finish the job. So before bed, kind of like after dinner, I make sure to always empty the sink. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I cannot stand waking up to a sink full of dishes. I make sure that the sink is empty. I put everything into the dishwasher. I just think it's really important. You don't want like your dishes sitting out all night, and nobody wants to wake up in the morning and see a sink full of dirty dishes. I think that's like depressing. So I just try to do it at night right before I go to bed. Okay, now that the dishes are all empty and the sink is clear, I'm just going to wash the sink out. I like to use Dawn Power Spray for this. You can use anything you want. I don't clean my sink every night. Probably I'd say I clean it every other night, but I like to just spray it down and give it a nice clean. I think it looks so nice. I don't have like a stainless steel sink or anything like that. Those always look so nice after they've been cleaned, but I do wonder if they're hard to keep clean. I think that mine doesn't look dirty, which could be tricky. But, if I just stay on top of it, then I know it's clean. And I don't know, I've kind of gotten used to the black color, and I like it.
One step forward and another back. I would never try to fool ya. I'm one heartbeat away from going mad. Girl, when you're looking like that, closer, closer, I'ma get closer to you. Yeah, got me, baby, got me hooked on you once again. Girl, I need you. How many times do I wanna yell? 'Cause we could be so complete. Baby, I'll never want anyone new. I was on your bed when you undressed. Baby, when I pulled you in and felt your breath, then I knew the girl I need you. Smiling like that, I could never resist it. Smiling like that, I could never resist it. Smiling like that, I could never resist it. Every moment is another chance. Loving you is all I wanted.
Another thing that I do every night before bed is I just clean off the counters, and I don't do anything fancy. I'm just using my own DIY, like homemade spray. It's literally, I just have a spray bottle and I've got water in it with a couple teaspoons of dish soap and then about 20 drops of bergamot, I think it's called, essential oil. It's like that citrus oil that's kind of like a mix between orange and lemon. It smells very delicious. So I just use that and I wipe my counters down, and it just makes them look nice. When we redo this kitchen though, I'm definitely replacing this. I've got black granite, and it shows it's shiny. It shows every tiny little crumb, every fingerprint. So it's definitely hard to keep clean, but I just once a night will wipe the whole thing down, and it looks good. And it's just easy. And again, I don't want to come down the stairs into the house and see a dirty counter or see food on the counter. So I do just wipe the counters every night. It only takes maybe like 60 seconds.
Long time gone, turning heads left, right. So damn done, taking this back bite. No, you can't cover this up, you're already stuck. Oh, before long, you're gonna get so tired, you gotta get out. All I need to know is wait for all systems go. I'm not letting anyone break it down, I keep it in my control. Put a pin in my map for anywhere else but here. Open up your front door, together we'll disappear. Wait for all systems go.
So I mentioned that my dishwasher wasn't smelling the freshest. So I got this Let Me Shine. Typically, I usually use just vinegar. I'll put like a cup of vinegar on the top shelf, just in a cup, face up, and I'll just run a load with the vinegar. But I'm going to try this Let Me Shine. It's citric acid, I think is what it is. And I have used it in the past, and it works really well. You just, right before you run your load of dishes, you just put it in the bottom of your dishwasher, and then you run your load of dishes as you normally would. And it kind of breaks down anything in there, gets it really clean, makes it smell really fresh. As soon as I put it in there, it started bubbling. So we'll see how that goes.
Can't stay long, gotta go bye-bye. Something's wrong with this town, so I fly out of state. I got it mapped up, making the cut. Oh, before long, you're gonna rue this day.
Something I do once a week is I clean the stovetop. This is because it's a horizontal surface, it gets very dusty and dirty, more so than like, say, the front of your cabinet would. So just once a week or whenever I notice it's dirty, I will just use the same spray I used on my counter and just wipe this down. It works really easy. You know, the spray that I make because it has the dish soap in it, it's a degreaser. So it really just takes care of anything that might be on this stovetop. And I just spray it and wipe it down. Sometimes I may even use a sponge and do this. I'm just using a microfiber towel today. I can actually link these ones if you're interested. They come in all kinds of colors, which I love because I use different colors for different rooms. And I try to remember them so I don't mix them up. I definitely don't mix up the bathroom ones. But I think these are really, really good little microfiber towels.
Doesn't matter where we go and destination or no. I don't care where the motor stops. Cause when I want it, then I want it. Yeah, I want it. Oh, I want it. Let's go. Look around, where's the people at? I want a taste of the good life. Hit me with it right now, I'm in it. Cause when I want it, then I want it. Yeah, I want it. Oh, I want it. Let's go.
Okay, and now I'm trying to get the kids to fold the laundry. My oldest daughter didn't want to be on camera, but she's also going to be helping. We're going to do the laundry. The kids are going to put it away, and that is going to be our daily routine. All right, guys, well, thanks so much for spending the day with me, and I showed you my whole cleaning routine. You can do it. You just have to do small things throughout the day, and I promise you, your home will be a heck of a lot cleaner. Now, it's nighttime. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day while the kids are folding their laundry. I'm going to have a glass of wine. I'm also going to link a playlist for you guys if you're interested in checking out additional cleaning videos. Click right here, and I will see you over there. Cheers! Thanks for watching.